2025 Rolls-Royce Phantom arrives not just as a car, but as a statement of what it means to move through the world in absolute luxury, and it does so with a presence that few objects, let alone automobiles, can match. Since its introduction in 1925, the Phantom has represented the very peak of Rolls-Royce engineering and design, and a century later, the new model continues to honor that legacy while stepping boldly into the future. At first glance, the exterior communicates everything you need to know before a single word is spoken. The majestic length, the sheer authority of its stance, and the subtle refinements that elevate it beyond anything else on the road. The front grille, now softly illuminated, glows like a crown in the night, with the Spirit of Ecstasy rising as if to bless each journey, while the new crystal finish paint option shimmers with microscopic glass particles that refract sunlight, giving the bodywork the kind of glow usually reserved for gemstones. Every Phantom is unique because Rolls-Royce offers an almost limitless palette of bespoke colors and finishes, often created from scratch for each owner, ensuring that no two examples in the world are ever truly alike. The wheels are sculpted with precision, designed not to shout with aggression, but to whisper elegance, and the profile of the car itself carries that unmistakable silhouette, long hood, sweeping roofline, balanced proportions, that has always set the Phantom apart from everything else on the road. Beneath this elegant exterior lies a dramatic update, one that brings the Phantom into the modern era without compromising its heritage. For the first time, the car introduces a hybrid powertrain, a carefully tuned marriage of Rolls-Royce's legendary 6.75-liter V12 engine and a discrete electric motor. Rolls-Royce calls it a whisper hybrid, and the name is perfect because this isn't about shouting performance figures or blistering acceleration. It's about serenity. On short city drives, the Phantom can glide silently on electric power alone, a surreal experience when a car of this size moves with no sound but the world around you. On longer journeys, the hybrid system blends seamlessly with the V12, delivering effortless torque and acceleration that feels like the earth itself is moving gently beneath the wheels. The goal is not speed, though the Phantom is more than capable. It's effortlessness, the idea that you never strain, never rush, you simply arrive. And for those moments when owners venture beyond manicured city boulevards, Rolls-Royce has introduced subtle but important upgrades to ensure the Phantom is never out of its depth. With a new all-wheel drive system and adjustable ride height, the 2025 model can handle gravel roads, long villa driveways, or sandy desert retreats with complete composure. It's not designed for off-road adventures like a Range Rover, but rather to guarantee that no destination is ever out of reach for those who live without limits. Of course, the true magic of a Phantom begins when you step inside, through those iconic rear-hinge coach doors that open not just to reveal a cabin, but to reveal an experience. The interior of the 2025 Phantom has been refined with a master's touch, combining the traditional craftsmanship Rolls-Royce is famous for with thoughtful innovations that elevate comfort even further. Passengers are greeted by the finest leathers, each hide hand-selected and stitched with care, available in colors that range from timeless classics to bold, fashion-inspired hues. Open-pore wood veneers run across the cabin, warm and organic to the touch, and new material options allow for metal inlays, silk trims, or even stone finishes, depending on the customer's desires. Every surface feels deliberate, every detail considered, and every seam tells the story of the hands that created it. The iconic Starlight headliner, one of Rolls-Royce's most beloved features, has been enhanced this year with even greater customization. Owners can choose constellations that mirror the exact night sky of a meaningful date, perhaps a wedding or the birth of a child, or even opt for animated shooting stars that drift across the ceiling while the car is in motion. It's not just a roof, it's a canvas of memory and meaning turned into light. Technology exists in the Phantom, of course, but it is never allowed to intrude or dominate. The infotainment screens and digital interfaces remain hidden until summoned, maintaining the purity of the interior design, while the new sound system has been tuned with obsessive precision. It delivers music with such clarity and depth that it feels less like listening to a recording and more like attending a live performance in an acoustically perfect hall. New soundproofing materials have also been added to ensure the cabin remains one of the quietest spaces on Earth, with some even claiming it's quieter than the interior of a private jet. For rear passengers, the experience borders on pure opulence, the kind of indulgence that feels less like sitting in an automobile and more like stepping into a rolling sanctuary designed for royalty. The seats don't simply recline, they unfurl with the grace and precision of a first-class suite aboard the world's finest airline. With just a touch, you are enveloped in an embrace of handcrafted leather, cooled or warmed to your preference, as massage programs carefully tuned by wellness experts either refresh the body after a long day or lull you into tranquil relaxation. Discreetly hidden champagne coolers slide open as though by magic, revealing crystal flutes designed exclusively for Rolls-Royce, reminding you that every journey, no matter how routine, can be transformed into a private celebration. Ambient lighting dances subtly across the cabin, highlighting the starlight headliner above, where thousands of fiber optic lights mimic a starry night sky. Every detail whispers a promise that time spent in the Phantom is not just travel, but an event. Adding to this sense of grandeur is the newly introduced digital gallery, a stroke of genius that allows owners to transform their dashboard into a canvas. Unlike any other car in existence, the Phantom's dash can be customized to showcase personal artwork, curated designs, or even bespoke creations commissioned directly from celebrated artists. This means that no two Phantoms are alike. Each one becomes an intimate expression of its owner's taste, history, or aspirations. Imagine gliding through the city with a hand-painted silk panel gracing your dashboard, or a modern piece of digital art designed solely for you, displayed beneath protective glass. In an era where luxury is often equated with scarcity, Rolls-Royce takes it one step further. Here, luxury is individuality immortalized in design. But what truly sets the Phantom apart is not only the craftsmanship or the features, it's the intangible feeling the car gives you once inside. There is a rare serenity that settles over you, a sense of being detached from the chaos of the outside world. Road noise, traffic, and the frantic pulse of the city simply melt away, as though the Phantom has erected an invisible barrier between you and everything else. Whether you are nestled in the rear seat or confidently taking the wheel yourself, time seems to slow to your rhythm. This car does not demand speed or urgency. It invites you to savor the journey, to appreciate stillness and motion. It's an almost meditative experience, the kind of calm that few other machines on Earth can deliver. Of course, such serenity comes at a price. The 2025 Phantom starts at around $500,000, but in truth, that figure is merely a doorway. The reality is that most buyers will spend far more. Bespoke personalization often elevates the final cost well beyond $1 million. For Rolls-Royce clients, however, cost is not the metric. What matters is the ability to commission something truly unique. A client may request a paint color matched exactly to the shade of a beloved heirloom watch, or an interior theme inspired by the landscapes of their childhood estate. Every stitch, every veneer, every detail can be tailored until the car feels less like a product and more like a biography, an extension of one's identity rendered in steel, leather, and glass. In the world of Rolls-Royce, perfection isn't optional. It is the baseline. The Phantom of 2025, then, is not about rivals or competitors, because in truth, it has none. It occupies a space so rarefied that comparison becomes meaningless. It is the pinnacle of automotive luxury, the embodiment of heritage married seamlessly to innovation. It is designed not for those who wish to flaunt wealth, but for those who understand that true luxury is understated, confident, and eternal. This is a car for the individual who values silence over noise, elegance over extravagance, and timelessness over fleeting trends. It is for someone who views driving not as necessity, but as art, lifestyle, and privilege. Picture the Phantom gliding silently through the heart of a modern city, skyscrapers reflecting softly off its polished surface, commanding quiet admiration without the need for theatrics. Imagine it arriving at the gates of a countryside estate, waiting patiently, its presence dignified and assured. Or envision it rolling up to a gala, where even among the world's most extravagant machines, it doesn't shout for attention. It earns respect. That is the essence of Rolls-Royce. After more than a century of evolution, the Phantom remains the best car in the world, and the 2025 model proves why. With its hybrid powertrain ensuring smoother, more efficient journeys, its refined design language that balances tradition with modernity, and its unprecedented level of personalization that ensures no two cars will ever be the same, the Phantom doesn't simply move with the times, it defines them.